evening, my crafty friends. I'm Eve with the baby's booty, and tonight we are going to work on a cute little tote bag. I thought the design was super cute. Um, and for those who like to sew, it should be a fairly easy project. But if you're a beginner sewer, technically it's also still technically a beginner friendly project. But we'll get into all of that here in a moment. Um, a very beautiful person made a custom tote bag design, right? That you use the rhinestone design to put on the fabric, right? And then once you have it on the fabric, you stitch it together and it comes out to a gorgeous little rhinestone bag. It was just, it's so super cute. It's so stinking cute. So I'm excited to make it. And if you're curious about seeing who made it and how they actually made it, it's the best uni. And she and Unbiased LLC made this earlier today. And I did drop the link in the description to the video where they made it earlier today. And I also dropped the link in the description for the rhinestone pattern for her bag, for the best uni's bag pattern. And it is in the description as well. It's on Etsy. And she has it over there. So definitely go check it out. But it's an Adorbs animal print design. So if you like animal print, this is totally a win for you. Okay. So aside from that, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you spending your evening with me. We're going to get into doing that. I appreciate you guys coming. Um, it's been a busy weekend, but then again, not. I kind of been lazy after Friday, especially because Friday we got some flock in on Friday. It's the coral flock, and I went live to tell you guys about it like an hour after it got here. And the only reason I didn't go live sooner was because I had to unpack all of the boxes, or we unpacked all of the boxes and was pulling out all the rolls. And then working tirelessly to get all of those ready. After telling you guys about it, we ended up working pretty hard afterwards and wanted to make sure that those got out to the folks that have been out. So we popped it in the mail on Friday, and then the mister and I did a good bit of overtime. And so Saturday we were able to get some out that were ordered late Friday, and then Saturday. So we got those orders. Normally I don't send out orders on Saturdays because the UPS guy is kind of finicky a little bit, but we sent them out. And so there's that, trying to make sure that we stay on top of inventory and what we have left. So the numbers, that if you go online, you should see numbers live. Like, say for instance, if you're interested in a 5-yard roll and you click on 5-yard roll, it should show you how many 5-yard rolls we have left. The same for the 1-yard roll and the 2-yard rolls. So it is pretty accurate. The only one that I think I need to go on and double check is the 24-inch roll of purple that I do have left. It's not a lot, so I need to go and check and make sure that I've changed that number because I meant to. Um, but we're running really low on that. So, but our next big order of flock won't be until probably February. So, you know, it is what it is. But we got big things coming up for the new year. I'm super excited about some things that we got coming down the pipes and really looking forward to that. It doesn't sound normal. I can't hear it. So it's probably because it's right here. Is that any better? What's up with the pink light? um, so the pink, like, is this better? Let me know if that's better. Let me know if that's better. My honey is back there. He can hear and he can let me know if that he highlighted it, so apparently it's an issue for him too. Um Sounds fine. Okay. No, that's a that light is actually red. And I can change it to any color, but apparently there must have been a power outage or something at some point this weekend. And anytime there's a power outage, that stupid thing um turns on and it's annoying. So put it back like it was. No worries. Thank you, Miss Joyce. Hey, hun. So, anyways, I'm gonna say hi to everyone. You know what? This it was better before. Oh, okay. Okay. This particular, hey Vera, this particular project is a little bit finicky, and I'll show you guys why. So I'm gonna be kind of quick saying hi in the chat. Hold on, you guys. Let's see. Okay, maybe this is why. No, let's do. Okay, so that's that one. No, that's the wrong microphone though. So it shouldn't. I know, but when I go over to the table, it won't pick this one up, and I won't be able to hear over here. So there's that. Y'all, technical difficulties. Oh, man, I'm having technical difficulties everywhere because like my insulin thing is acting up right now. It's crazy. But anyway. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna pop in the chat and say hello to everyone. Hey, Miss Monique Johnson, welcome. Thank you for being here. Miss Jay Bryant, thank you for being here. And thank you both, sorry, for being YouTube Hoop Group members. I definitely appreciate that. Boyd Apparel and Designs LLC, Alice B, welcome to the both of you. Thank you for being here. We also have Zelda Brown. Hey, Zelda, welcome. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member on our channel. Pamela Scott, you as well. Thank you very much for being a member here on our channel. We have Lachey. Welcome, Lachey. Thank you for coming to hang out. Michelle Brown, welcome. Thank you for coming to hang out with us. Patricia Johnson, thank you for coming to hang out and for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Nick Nack Nurse, hey, hun, welcome. Thank you for coming to hang out with us. Creative Notions, thank you as well for coming to hang out this evening. Hey, DB, honey, welcome. So Crafty, welcome. How are you? How's the grandbaby? Hope everything's great. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member on our channel. Ms. Merlinda, hey honey, welcome and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member on our channel. Tanya, welcome. Thank you for being here. And you, thank you very much for being a YouTube Hoop Group member on our channel as well. Hey, Anna Smith, welcome. Thank you for being here and for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. We have April T. Jackson. Hey, welcome. Thank you for coming to hang out with us this evening. I don't remember seeing your name, so welcome. EE Handmade with Love. Hey, Miss Bobby, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member this evening. We got Greg in the chat. Hey, Greg, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. And y'all, oh my gosh, his superhero designs are to die for. So I have one that I meant to go get. I got to go get it before I get fussed at again. Because he was like, did you get my design? I was like, I haven't gotten it yet. I got to go get that design and brush that sucker in. Ms. 143, welcome and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Josette Lovercheck, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Vanessa Bradfield, welcome and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. And we have Geneva Coleman and Fern Griffin. Both of you are YouTube Hoop Group members. Thank you very much and welcome. Unbiased LLC, hey honey, welcome. And we got Sheila. Hi, Sheila Cushionberry. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, my dear, and for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. We got Precious Pieces, Linda Gray. Welcome to the both of you. And thank you so very much for being YouTube Hoop Group members. I'm going to have to cut it off right there, you guys, because, hey, Jesse, because we have got to get to this project. And I'm going to switch you guys over. Actually, no, I'm going to switch you guys over, but I need you to see. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me over there. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to scroll down. Hey, everybody. We got Patrice and Shay Shay. Hey, y'all. Welcome. I'm scrolling. Hey, Shayna. Hey, Miss Evelyn. I saw green. Hey, girl, you in the bushes? No worries. Thank you for being here. Where's my bill? Oh, my God. That boy done got a hold of my bill, y'all. He didn't get a hold of my bell. My bell is over yonder, I think. Let me see. Make sure it's not right here. Yeah, he comes to the desk and he'll look for certain things and he looks for that bell. Oh, you know what? He does have that bell because I remember giving it to him because he was messing. Remember, well, if you weren't in here, then he was playing. If y'all didn't see my live the other day when I came on and told y'all about the flock, that boy was playing the old McDonald's song with the cow. I had to give him the bell because I was like, please don't turn that cow on again. That's why my bell is gone. But thank you, Patrice, for being a member for 48 months. Yes, honey. Yes. Watching football. Oh, cool. Thank you, Barbara Bryan, for being here while watching football. Hey, Shay, a member for 21 months. Yes, honey. Yes. And then picture me crafting, a member for 50 months. Yes, honey. Yeah, thank you, Miss Melinda. I appreciate you. And EJ's daughter, a member for 61 months. Thank you very much. Welcome. Hey, Worship and Craft with Colette. Welcome, my love. Thank you for being here. I hadn't seen your name before, so that's why I shouted you out. Miss J. Bryant, member for 46 months. All the R's. Thank you. And then sister her to Miss Teresa, member for 46 months. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, honey. Yes. Stacy talking about he was so cute. And then Karen, Keisha E talking about the cutest little kid. Yeah, until he get my bell. Hey, Karen D, a member for 35 months. Yes, honey. Yes. See, this ain't even the right bell. Let me see. Because this one don't ring the same. Oh my gosh. And then come to think of it, I had to open a whole new bell while I was over there. So, oh my goodness. Yeah. So thank y'all. Let's switch over to the other camera so that y'all can see how pretty this is. You have got to see this design. Hey, Amy Miller. Welcome. Ara Lewis, member for 26 months. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes. Shayna just subscribe. Well, thank you for subscribing. Y'all. Thank you. Let's see. I'm going to see if this microphone is going to work over there, but I'm going to take my thing just in case it does not. But look at this, y'all. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at how pretty this is. I knew you would be able to hear me. Let's see. I knew you would be able to hear me. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Okay, that's the right microphone then. So look, this is gorgeous, is it not? I mean, don't get it twisted. It's the color stones too that I picked. But the design itself is super pretty. So I have, this is Jet Hematite. Marilyn, a member for 49 months. Holler! Love this tote bag project. Hopefully it'll turn out right. It's been a minute since I've made a tote bag, so let's hope everything goes well. And then I make mine a little bit different in how they made theirs in the video that I posted in the description, but we'll try it and see how that goes. But this is Jet Hematite is the dark spaces, and then the light spaces is actually light cyan. So it is blinging its little heart out. And I have where's the other one? I have both of them blinged out. I don't know what I did with the other one. I think. Hold on. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing a piece. All right, so I'm gonna have to find the other piece, but I do have the second part to this. Oh, here it is. Already done. So here's the front and here's the back, right? And so I cheated a little bit. And I'm gonna tell you how I've cheated. Oh, you've been a member for 67 months. Thank you. Carol Coleman, thanks so very much. Holler. Thank you. I appreciate you being a member for 67 months. That's from day one, it seems. So thank you very much. But this bag, the way she has it set up, it's going to line. Can you see how that's going to line up almost perfectly on the sides once you stitch this together? So this is super cool. I absolutely love how she did this design. So, and that's what I was telling you. I did a cheat code. So I want to tell you how I did my cheat code. So I usually do tote bags for Bling Fest every year. Well, not every year, but it depends. We did tote bags this year. And the tote bags that I did were red. Well, I had a couple of them left over. So what I pretty much did was cut up a tote bag. Why? Because of the straps. I didn't want to have to sew straps. So they're not hard to sew, but that's just an extra step that I would have had to have done on the channel with you guys, and I didn't want to have to do that tonight because I wanted the project to go a little bit quicker. So I was doing things ahead of time. So I went ahead and pressed the outside fabric, and then I'm going to use the same tote bag lining for the inside fabric. So I have two pieces for that already laid out. Hopefully this will work because the lining, this is canvas, so it's a little heavier. You know what? I think fabric might be cuter though. The reason why, you know what? No, I'm going to stick with canvas. And the reason why I'm going to stick with canvas is because now keep in mind, if you choose to do this project, then it would be a good idea to line the pieces of fabric, put some kind of stabilizer in here to stiffen it a little bit because the stones are kind of heavy, you know. So by the time we sew this together, you want it to have just a little bit of form to it. So I would put a lining or use a thicker, more sturdy fabric. For instance, denim. Denim would be great with this project. Oh my gosh. If I had denim right here and was paying closer attention, I would have done denim because animal print on denim would have been fabulous. So that's something I would have loved to have done. But neither here nor there. What we're going to do is follow her pattern because as you can see, there's the straight up the top, across the top of the bag, and then straight down the sides of the bag. But then look, she has the notches already designed in the bag. So we're going to cut out these notches. Now, when you cut this out, you have to keep in mind that we're going to be sewing this on a sewing machine. We're going to be sewing this on a sewing machine. Unless you're good enough to do hand stitching, go for it. But I'm not. So I'm going to be stitching, and you cannot stitch over the rhinestones. You cannot stitch these rhinestones because if you do, you will be breaking a needle, and we don't want to do that. Okay. So what we are going to do is go ahead and cut out these notches, and when in considering that I'm going to be sewing these together, I'm going to have to leave space for my sewing foot and for the needle. So one of the things that would help you get a good bit closer to the stones without actually stitching on these stones is a zipper foot. Like that's perfect for this particular project if you have a zipper foot. If you don't, then you definitely have to be careful and use the edge of your presser foot and try and get it kind of close to the edge of these stones. But you'll see how it comes together once we're done stitching. It is super adorbs. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. I'm hoping I'll be done in enough time to bling another one because this was really easy to bling. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to hold my breath or anything like that. So we'll see. But for starters, let me go ahead and pull up the sewing machine. And to help make things easy, I'm going to leave my black thread on top. Well, you can't see the black thread, can you? Bloop. There's black thread up here, and it looks like I'm almost out. So how we gonna finish that with black thread? Let me see. Well, the color do I have over here? I may have to get red thread. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I may have to get red thread, but I wanted you to be able to see it. So hopefully there's enough thread up here for you to be able to see it because I'm not stitching the handle, so it shouldn't cause any problems. Oh, and I also meant to, and I can go ahead and create it, but I also meant to do a rhinestone template for the straps as well, because these are what, 16 inches, I think, roughly 16-inch straps. And so I can do a, let's see, let's take a look and see how many rows we're looking at for doing this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could probably do 5 or 6 rows on these straps because I do want bling on the straps. So at some point we may come to going and doing the straps. So again, before I even start stitching on this bag, I need to make sure that I have these corners notched out. Okay, so what I kind of want to leave is definitely a little over half an inch. I'm not good with the 3/8 of an inch type situation. I'm just not, y'all. I don't even know where 3/8 is on a tape measure. So let me grab my other tape measure and pull out my presser foot because I didn't even realize it wasn't even sitting right there. Okay. And here is my tape measure. And that's half an inch right there. So 3/8 got to be somewhere in that neck of the woods. So let me grab my marker so that I can mark the fabric and then know where I'm going to actually cut this thing. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. So yeah, that was about where I was needing to go. 3/8 is right there. So I'm gonna go right here. It's kind of big. It's a lot of space, but say la vie. And then right there. And let me grab a small ruler. So again, what I'm doing is notching out. And I may go smaller than this because oh my gosh, I can't. That's crazy. So what I'm trying to do is measure this and make sure that I'm cutting out the right amount of space so that when I go to stitch this, I don't wind up with too much fabric or not enough fabric. So I'm going to notch this out. And I need to mark it so that I can notch it properly. Okay. So that's that. And let me mark this other side. And then I'm going to have to do the same with this. And I have to do the same with the lining. So it's a lot of marks that we have to do to be sure that we have this measured properly. It don't even look the same to me. That's crazy. What? I'm gonna listen to it because y'all know I am not the best with math. And what I'm probably gonna do is do another cheat code and just copy this with that, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna cut this. All right, and then I'm gonna cut this one. And then there's the bags. Because with this particular bag, I want the bottom to be flat. This is going to be a flat bottom bag. So it's going to fold under. It's going to fold under right about here. And the bottom of the bag is going to be blingy. Okay. So that's the reason for notching out these corners. And so I'm going to kind of match this and try and cut this out the same. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to make it work. My girls say, this ain't enough. Make it enough. That's pretty much how we're going to do this right here. Actually, let's do both of these. Okay. And then I'm going to not cut this one. How many of you in here has sewn a tote bag? Just sewing. Not necessarily embroidered, but sewing. I know Keisha E. This red is very, very pretty. Very pretty. All right. And then, like I said, eventually I'm going to have to cut this as well. So how about we just do this while we're at it? They're about the same. Yep. She has me, Miss J. Bryant, During Heart Designs, Lachey, Bertha Lewis. Nice. Nice. I love tote bags. So for me and my journey throughout my life, um, this technically is how I started sewing. Press the image onto the fabric opposite directions from each other, attaching, then cutting the material. Oh, okay. No, I didn't. I did not, but it's no worries. This is just like a first time doing it. So we'll see how it turns out. And then we'll get more professional because again, it's been a minute since I've actually done a tote bag. So that's why I'm not like stressing out too bad about it. But and then like I was mentioning in the beginning, I would stitch mine together different than how you guys did. So this is how I remember doing a tote bag is a little bit different from you guys. So let's grab us some clips. Pink likes red bag. I'm confused. I am doing great. And it, like I said, that's a red light. It ain't pink. It's red. It's red back there. It just looks pink. It just looks pink. It looks pink. But so this is how I started my sewing journey, which is what I was going to tell you guys. I did not, hey Delonda, I did not start with embroidery or anything like that, even though in my YouTube bio I do say that I started doing embroidery with the baby uh, bibs, and technically that's correct as far as this YouTube journey goes. And embroidery, that's how I started there. But sewing, I was actually sewing um years ago with a very dear friend, and she taught me how to sew um window drapes because that was her business. She did custom drapes and reupholstery. So that's where I learned to sew. Um and she kind of got me hooked on it, and I learned a lot through the years. But my absolute favorite thing to sew is bags. I love making tote bags and stuff like that. So this is like near and dear to my heart. All right, so I can feel, make sure that you feel your stones where they are. And I'm kind of, can you see barely? I might can zoom in a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Whoops, that's not zooming in. This is zooming in. Nope, I'm zoomed all the way in. Okay. But I'm using my fingernail to kind of see how it's making a little groove right there with just my fingernail so that I can see where the rhinestones are. And I'm lining the edge of my presser foot right up alongside that row of stones because I don't want to stitch on top of the rhinestones. Technically with this foot I could, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go right here along the edge and get us a cute little stitch going, because that'll help make sure I don't break needles, because I definitely don't want to do that, because ain't nobody got time for that. And because my sewing machine has the function where I can move the needle, which I did here. See, on my machine, this is the center of the presser foot. This is to the left and this is to the right. So I move my needle to the far left so that I could get my needle as close to the edge of those stones as I possibly can. And the stone colors that I use for this bag is jet hematite and light cyan. Okay. Jet hematite and light cyan. The red is overpowering the stones. That's what I wanted it to do, because I wanted it to give the illusion that they're isn't stones there. I don't know how to explain that. I kind of wanted it to, I love tone on tone, and tone on tone tends to wash out your rhinestone colors. And so um, it makes it where it doesn't seem like there are stones there. And that's kind of how usually what I go for when I'm doing certain things. I like tone on tone. Whoops. So yeah, I knew it would, and that's kind of what I was going for. That's what I was going for. All right. If you notice, a lot of the projects that I'll do with rhinestones, they are tone. They tend to be tone on tone, which is why I picked that shade of red, because I could have gone with either icy crimson or whoops, come on, something like that to let the different color pop, but I didn't want that because of how bright this red is. I wanted the red to stand for itself. Alrighty, and let's trim that. And then finally, I'm going to do across the bottom for now. So as you can see, I've gone up the sides only for right now. And then I'm going to go across the bottom. Lining, trying to get everything lined up as much as possible. Since I took the clips off. And there's my stones there. So let's line my foot up. Make sure this is tight. And I'm taking my time because I want to make sure that I don't sew over any stones. All right, and if you've made tote bags before, you may make yours differently, and that's fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Now, let me turn this inside out so that you can see a little bit with what I'm saying on how they match up. Now, I can get closer, but I'm just going to show you this for right now. I haven't done the corners of the bag yet, so hang tight on that. But here is the bag, the shell of the bag, the outer shell. So as you can see, I didn't want a color to compete with the red of the bag. I wanted it to actually just be the bag. In other words, I didn't want it to compete. I just wanted it to be. And notice how you can kind of see the edge of the bag. I can try to get closer than that so that the stones come a little bit closer. If I do, that means I'm going to have to make sure that I'm stitching over the top of this so that the needle comes right there. And that's going to take some prayer, some breath holding, and all of that kind of stuff. But here is the shell. Now, what I would need to do to box my insides, let's get this flipped back the other way. And again, this rhinestone pattern is on Etsy. The sides will not be straight because it don't have to be straight, my dear. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for a bag. I'm just looking for a bag, my dear. This ain't one of them projects where it's that serious. It's not. This is just a fun little project of something to do. All right. And so here is how you box your corners. So I would lay this open. Me personally, it depends on you. Some people like to sew with their seam laying a certain way or laying the other way. I like to have mine open because it lessens bulk. And then I will stitch across here where I feel the rhinestones. So again, I can feel the rhinestones and I can stitch right across where those rhinestones are. Sheila, that is awesome sauce. That baby got a sewing machine. That's good. So I'm going to see just if I can get over the top of these stones without sewing through the stones. Because again, I can feel them and get to them without get to them. I can stitch on them because I can feel where they are. Make sure I put the foot right over the top of them. And I'm going to come in first and then backstitch. I would prefer to have done this with a zipper foot, but make sure I'm going right. And when I was telling folks about this particular sewing machine, it's a Singer. This is a Singer 5830 C as in cat. This is a classroom sewing machine. So this machine was made by Singer to work in a classroom setting so that kids could learn how to sew, and kind of beat up on it or whatever. So it's made pretty tough. So I've been able to sew through some pretty serious things with this sewing machine. I absolutely love it. So I'm not super worried, even if I did break a needle or something like that, because this is a pretty tough machine. Love my cutting scissors. These are, yes, they have a lock on them. These are, I don't know how to pronounce it. Ginger, Gingher, Italy. They weren't inexpensive, so to speak, but yes, they have a lock to lock them shut. These are my fabric scissors. I pretty much only use them when I'm sewing, and I use them only on fabric. So I love them. They're very sharp. Very, very, very sharp scissors. Very sharp scissors. All right. Let's see how close we are on this side. Come on, baby. I done told the people about you. Slow down. I gotta make sure you ain't stitching over no rhinestones, girl. I'm tripping. She took off like, I can do it. Yeah, I know you can, but dagnabbit. All right. So let's trim this one. And I like to trim as I go. Personal preference. All right, now let's turn this back inside out. They need to have an alarm if somebody tries. As much as I paid for them darn scissors, but that was a while ago. I think I've had these scissors about 2 years, if not 3. Hey, J Mama, welcome. All right, let me see how close I got. Ooh, buddy, that was close, especially on that side. See how close I got on that side? Over here, not so much. That's a little bit off. Same on this side. Got really close. So I'm gonna try and see if I can't get the sides a little bit better, but I actually kind of want to just leave well enough alone until I do my next bag, because I don't want drama. But look at how that looks so far. Isn't that pretty? Minus the space, but it's still pretty. The design is gorgeous. What did you say, Danny Crafts? Congrats on the new HTV Ront foam press and tumbler press and Epsom sublimation printer. Congratulations. Holler. Congratulations, Danny. Yes, honey. Yes. Congratulations, girl. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. We got to do a play date or something. And I should have tried to go up closer on these sides before doing the box corners, but I didn't. I did not. So I'm probably going to have to for sure leave well enough alone. Because normally I would press my seams flat and all of that jazz, but I have not done any of that. So for those of you who are professionals at bag making like Miss Shawn, don't crucify me, because this is just for funsies. All right, and I can trim this a little bit, make it a little less bulk on the inside. But like I said, this is just for fun. So let's do the same thing with this. This is going to be my lining. Oh, I need to bling this actually. I need to bling the handles first before, because I got to attach them to the inside of that bag. But for the time being, let's do up the sides. Holler. Do up the sides, up the sides. Make sure that's even, and it is not. Stones cost too much to look like they aren't there. Yeah, eh, they do, but it's no worries. I don't mind. All right, so I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna stitch up this side. And then we're going to do this here. And then I'm going to go up this side. Even that up. And this. All right. Now for this one, I'm not going to stitch all the way across the bottom of the bag because I'm going to use the bottom of the, this is the lining. So I'm going to use the bottom as a turning point. So I'm actually going to stitch to one point, stitch to the other point, and then I'm going to stop and leave an opening. If you need help remembering where to stop, you can totally use a marker and mark you out a space or however you want to do it, or use a clip or use pins, or it's entirely up to you how you want to do that part. So hey Susan Green, welcome. So let's go here, and then I'm on backstitch right here, right? And then I'm going to trim, because I like to trim as I go, because I'll forget to trim otherwise. And then I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to stitch across the other side. And back stitch. There needs to be a lot of back stitching because you know, the parts, especially where we're going to be turning the bag, that's a lot of stress in that area. So you definitely want to be back stitching. All right, and I'm going to box these corners, same as I did with the outside. So all I'm doing is taking the Pac-Man and pulling Pac-Man's cheeks apart, his face cheeks, because his mouth is right there. Who knows Pac-Man? Who remembers Pac-Man going to eat the ghost? Well, we got to open up his mouth, make it balloon, kind of like Kirby, the little Kirby Pokemon, and then we'll squish his mouth closed like a chicken beak. That's the only way I can really think to explain this. And then push it together to make the corner where we're going to box this corner. Okay. And then let's stitch across. Sheila, what did you talk about? Oh, Sheila. What is you fussing at me for? You got the serious face. Because of a Pac-Man reference. Whoops. Let's use this. There we go. Again, this is just to show you guys, not absolutely perfectly, but to show you the how she did her pattern to make this bag. I just thought it was an adorable pattern. All right, and then we are going to open up this seam. I'm gonna open up this seam. Whoops. And then I'm going to stitch across again. Now I could have left a opening on the side to turn as well. You can leave openings just about wherever you want on your bag to get it to give you a place to open it and turn it, but it's entirely up to you and where. So for me, the bottom of the bag is the better option for turning, because most people don't really look at the bottom of a lining in the bag. They're too busy sitting stuff in the bag to really care about what the bottom lining looks like. So, that's why I choose to do the bottom. All right, and I'm gonna trim this up. And so now here is my lining, right? And we're gonna turn it inside out. And again, I like this canvas option because what it's going to do is give some more bulk to help hold up those rhinestones, even though you see it's kind of like sitting up on its own already. It's not having too many issues. So I'm actually surprised. I thought it would weigh it down a lot more than what it is, but it didn't. All right, and so and as you see, here's the lining right here, and then there's the opening. And I turned it inside out because to put this back together and finish it off after putting the handles on, you're supposed to put the right side to right side inside the bag so that we're stitching around the wrong on all of them. Okay. So let's see if we can't get this going. Let's see if we can't get this going. I'm going to do something really quick. Let's switch you guys or share screen real quick and show you what I'm going to do. So like I said, that's about, hang on. This is 16 inches long and it is an inch wide. 16 inches long and an inch wide. So we need to know that because what we're going to do is create a rhinestone template to go with the handles. Okay, so let's move this over so that I can share screen. And share screen, entire screen, boom. Okay, so here is my silhouette business edition so that I can create rhinestone templates. And right now it's set up for 8.5 by 11 piece of paper because I was doing some sublimating the other day. So I'm going to change that right here where it says media size off to the right, and I'm going to change it from letter to auto, which is 12 by 12. So now I have my full 12 by 12 canvas to work with. Faker make fake. Fam, please get better because I'm not playing with nobody's flu right now. I refuse. So now what I'm going to do, remember the strap is 16 inches long by 1 inch wide. So I came over here on the left hand side and I grabbed this square, what does that say? Drawing tools, right? And so I'm going to grab this first square because I don't want rounded edges. I don't want a circle. So I want to do a straight rectangle. And I'm going to come over here on my canvas and draw a, now I can't do 16 inches, remember, because 16, first of all, my mat is 12 by 12. Now I can make it 12 by 24, but the thing is, part of that handle is not going to have rhinestones on it. It's going to have part of it tucked in the lining where I'm going to stitch it. Well, you may not know that, but I'm just telling you that. So what I'm going to do is put it at like 11.5, roughly. It doesn't have to, actually, let's just do 11 inches. This will be on the safe side. And then that says 0.73. So that would make this almost 3/4 of an inch, but the actual handle is an inch wide. Okay. So what's going to happen? Let me duplicate this so that you can see what's going on. What's going on? All right. So here's right at 1 inch, and then we're at 11 inches. Easy peasy rhinestone template. Come over to my right hand side down this strip of tool tips over here, and the fourth one up from the bottom is the rhinestones panel. So I'm going to open that. I'm going to change my spacing, and then once I change my spacing, I'm going to take this and I'm going to do a linear fill, which is the one that looks like a square. I don't want radial because this is not a round design. That's a nice bonus. No, it's not. You did get a 3D printer. Congratulations on your 3D printer, Faker. Tell him I said that was a good call. Good call, sir. Good call. I don't have my bell over here. I'll ring it when I get over yonder. Hopefully I will not forget. But we're gonna grab this because it is a straight line, right? And so I'm going to show you something. You have to be careful when you are doing something like this, because you remember I said the handle is 1 inch wide, but and this square is 1 inch wide, this rectangle. But if you lay this over the top, you'll see sometimes what it'll do is this actually did put stones to the inside. Can you see that? Let me change this to black. Okay, so you see how the stones actually are tucked to the inside, except for the ones on the end. The ones on the ends are on the line of the strap. And you have to be kind of careful because if you need it to be inside of 1 inch, then you're going to have to make your um, box that you're doing your stones off of, make them smaller than 1 inch. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that because it is important to have that little bit of a difference there. So I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter so that I can have the edge of my strap just fine. And this is all I'm gonna do. Now keep in mind her design is animal print, so this won't be animal print, but you could use the rectangle, bring in the design, use a rectangle and cut a part out of it to make it match, but I'm not going to do that. Can I just create a Bling design in the Cricut software as well? Ooh, Keisha. So in Cricut, it's not, you don't have a rhinestone tool to make creating a rhinestone design easy. Let me see if I can, what time is it? 9:54. Let me see if I can pull up Cricut. It's been a while, very long time since I've been in Cricut. So I'm gonna see if I need to log in probably to see if I can show you how to do this in Cricut. Yeah, see, they redirected me and I don't know what they redirected me to. Probably to log in because it's been that long. Yep. Yes, it has. Yes, it is. And I see now why they're asking me to log in. Who is this? Oh, that's not Google. This is the other people. So give me a sec. Let me get this signed in because I don't normally use the MSN browser. And let's log in. Where did you go? Where'd you go, Cotton Eye Joe? Let's see. Can't remember who did like do that. Probably I could have tried it, Keisha. And if I did, that was a while ago. But to show you that it can be done in Cricut, but what it takes to get it done, that's the downside. So let's go to our canvas in Cricut. Let me see. Is it pulling up canvas? It's taking forever. I don't want to set up a machine. Thank you. All right, so we can go to shapes. And let's grab a rectangle. All right, and I'm gonna change the size of my rectangle. First, I'm gonna unlock it, and then I'm gonna do 0.080, and then I'm going to do. Actually, I should have done that. Point. See, they rounded it up to 0.1. That's not what I wanted, and that's the wrong size anyway. What am I doing? Let's do 0.9. 0.9 high, and then wide I wanted it to be, what did I say, 11. Okay, so here is, Lord, here is the why are you doing this to me? Can we move? Thank you. Here is the rectangle. All right, so we're gonna have to zoom in. Let's take that shapes down. There we go. Close that, and let's zoom in. It's been that long since I fooled with Cricut, so give me a minute. Okay, and so here is our band, so to speak. Now, what we need to do, because there's nothing to turn this automatically into the circles, I'm going to have to grab a circle shape, right? And the circle shape for an SS10 rhinestone is 0.130. Okay, so this is a rhinestone. That's the size hole that I need for this. And let me change the color of this so that we can see it better with the stone on it. So here's your stone. Boop. And this is what I need to do. Copy and paste. So let's take this guy. And where is copy? Will you go away, please? I like don't want to do that. Okay. So let's duplicate, 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 right? And I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to bring this guy up. Stop it. That's not what I want. That's too big. Why did you stay? Let's delete you since you want to be uncooperative. Y'all, why? You know what? Let's do this number right here. Let's do this. And we're going to align bottom. There we go. All right. And so now I have all of these guys that I can barely fool with because they're so small. So let's zoom in, unfortunately. And I'm going to move this over. And they cannot touch for the rhinestone template. You do not have to have the cutter to buy Silhouette, to use Silhouette Business Edition. You also have the option of Leonardo Design Studio. So Leonardo Design Studio is Caesar's design space, so to speak, for their machine. And you don't have to have their machine to use to get the Leonardo. Whoops. There we go. Let's move this over. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these and I'm going to duplicate these to make this go faster, hopefully. And you see what I'm saying? So this is what you got to go through, fam, to do your designing in Cricut Design Space. But see, the good thing is now that I have that, I can do more at a time as I add the stones. So you kind of can, I don't want to say, make it a little easier on you by once you get a large amount of stones. So what I would probably do, if I know I'm going to be doing a lot of designing in Cricut with the rhinestones, I would like save a whole large rectangle worth of like this. So I have this, that's rough 6.5 inches worth. Duplicate that, and then I would, which is making it, let me zoom in some more. because it's not giving me. It's not giving me my crosshairs. It's only wanting me to. It's only wanting me to move this way. But anyway, so I would save this. And unfortunately, the other problem with Cricut is the more more dots you make, the more it wears on the machine, on the design space. So it's making it run slower because now you got all of these circles that you're moving. See how it's moving slower than it was a minute ago? And I'm having a hard time getting it to stop because you're bogging down. It is a lot more work, Keisha. So help me. It is a lot more work. But the cool thing is because you have Cricut, you totally can do what I'm doing in Silhouette, save it as an SVG, and then when you bring it over here as an SVG, then you can cut it with your Cricut. But Jesse, the reason why I wouldn't weld is so what I'm suggesting to you by saving a large rectangle. So I was trying to get to that point to leave a big enough. Let's do it this way because I can't. That's drama. So say for instance, instead of let's duplicate this real quick because I don't want to mess with that one. So good to see how easy this is in Silhouette business. I mean, look, that's a big huge square. Big huge square. No, you're fine. It's a big huge square, and you can take this over to Cricut Design Space and you can lay this over whatever design you want and kind of like delete stones around what you're not going to use. You know what I'm saying? Because at least you have all of the circles and you don't have to make all of the circles like what I was just doing. But if I were to take this over to Cricut Design Space and weld it, then I can't delete any of these random stones that I'm not going to use once I get it over to Cricut Design Space to make my template. You see where I'm going with that? So if you had a way to save something like this, take your, like, one day you don't have anything else to do, take your time, make one of these grids about this big, and then save it over in Cricut Design Space on a different program. Then, matter of fact, let's try that. Let's see. I'm not gonna do it this big because it may take it forever to get into Cricut. So let's grab that, and I'm gonna say save selection, save to hard drive, and we're gonna do an SVG. This is what you would do for bringing this over into Cricut, and this say KESHAE test. Okay, so I'm gonna save this as a Keisha E test, right? That's downloads in my downloads folder. Okay, so we're golden on this. So let's bring Cricut back up, and in Cricut, I'm going to zoom back out first of all. Okay, and I'm going to delete this for now, even though it pains me to do so because that was a lot of work. And then I'm going to do a project already exists. Do I wish to save? I'm gonna save for right now. And this is strap, S-T-R-A-P, right? So I'm gonna save it. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Because Cricut is just different. So let's go new. Oh, you know what? I could have done it. So let's go new. No, let's go upload. Sorry. Let's go upload image. We're going to browse. I'm going to go to Keisha test, right? And then open that. And here it is. Used to be me trying to bring this into Cricut Design Space would have took 12 years. Kid you not. Okay. So there's all the circles, and let's upload. And you see it's still taking it some time, but here they are. Okay. So here is the thing, right? And I can, let's see, it should be a way to ungroup this. Excuse me. It's been so long since I fooled with this until this is just crazy. Uh, there's ungroup. Look, it won't let me ungroup it. So hold on. Let me do some damage control. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. So you can't bring it in like this. What we have to do is this number right here, release rhinestones. Okay. So once we release rhinestones, yeah, I got it from you can get it from, I don't have a code. I think Patrice does. I think Patrice does. Marilyn may have it too. Okay, so here's this, and I'm gonna group it. Okay. So I released the rhinestones and then I grouped this. Now it should save this where I can ungroup it in Cricut. So now let's save selection, save the hard drive, and I'm going to make this SVG again. And then there's the Keisha. We're going to overwrite that one because that's the wrong type, right? And so let's bring up, there we were. Let's upload. And upload image. We're going to browse. Let's bring Keisha test in again and see, look, loading image, large image may take a moment. That's fine. We already know, homie. And that's upload. So it uploads a lot faster than it used to, but it also depends on your computer. It also depends on your computer. Okay. Let me do that over here. Okay. Look at what it did. OMG. That's the other problem. Look at that. See that? Look how big it brought it in at. Look at how big it came in at. That's the other issue with Cricut. This is not the size that's over here. Okay. So 11.123 wide is what this is. You have to know the size of your intended design so that you can fix it in Cricut. So 11.123 inches. So let's go to size. Don't unlock this. Don't unlock this. But what did we say? 11.123 and hit enter. And there's all your circles right there. Okay. There they are. And if you ungroup them, then look at what you're going to deal with over here is, and I guess you could have just hit this down arrow too, but see, it's taking forever to populate all of those circles, Keisha. I swear. Just honestly, and I used to be a Cricut person. I used to be like Cricut, but girl, working with the rhinestones converted the heifer to everybody else but Cricut because this was just look at how long it's taken. And it doesn't help that I'm actually live streaming. You know what I'm saying? So let me close this out just in case. I don't want it to mess up anything that I'm doing. So yeah, you can do rhinestones and Cricut, but girl, oof. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, so I'm going to save this one because this is what I'm going to do for my strap, and we're gonna name it strap. STRAPPY. Let's go strappy. And we're gonna save it. And now for me, because I'm not using a Cameo, I'm not using a Cricut, I'm using my Graph Tech. So I have a completely different program. I have Graph Tech. So I actually could have made a version of that over here. Okay, so 11.6. All right, and so I'm going to merge in Strappy. Here it is. Booyah. And then I'm going to put a cutting box around it because that's just how I roll. I prefer a weeding box. And that's that. Now I'm going to send it to cut, and it should cut very quickly in on my Graph Tech. Okay. So you'll hear it boot up here in a sec, probably. And then we're going to stop sharing. Okay. So let's go back to the table. I like Cricut for cutting with the software. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say the software is horrible. I'm not going to say that because I've used it for years and it's useful. It does great for what it does. Otherwise, it wouldn't have the sales that it has. But what I will say is it does make it challenging um, for those more complicated projects like what some of us tend to do. And they also hold your designs hostage. That's the part that if you make a design on Cricut Design Space, they hold it hostage, which, that's debatable. The language is debatable on whether it's being held hostage or not, because you made it over there. You used our software to make it, so it belongs here and it's going to stay here. So there's that. But anyway, I digress. I digress. So here are our straps. Here's my bag. My heat press turned off, so I'm going to have to let it heat back up again. But I'm going to turn this back inside out. And while it actually, you know what, while it's heating up, let me see if I can't tuck this in just a little bit more on the sides. Even though I got this going on, I'm going to try. Let's give it a good old try ski and see how close I can get it. Yeah, because see, I had a good 1/4 inch right there that I could have got closer of a stitch. Go back out, go back in. Cricut is very slow and proprietary, which isn't what we need. It isn't, but I will say this. Cricut came through for a heifer when I didn't know better. Whoops, did that sew through the rhinestone? It was Cricut got a lot of us going. I'll put it that way. Cricut got a lot of us going. Okay. So I'm not gonna complain too loudly about Cricut. Because had it not been for Cricut, many of us wouldn't even be crafting right now. Because that was what we knew. I didn't know anything about graph tech. I really didn't know anything about silhouette. And what's the name of them people? Caesar didn't even have a cutting machine back when I started. So it's like, gotta give folk props where the props is due. They got a lot of us on the road to crafting. And it's great for those who need that kind of simplicity. Because it is a very simplistic setup. All right, so my rhinestone strap is ready. My heat press should be right there at temperature. So let's turn this around. I know, Unbiased. I saw that and I was like, oh no. Yeah, see, it didn't get super close for me on one side. So I'm gonna figure a way to do it better. But like I said, this was kind of like a test run anyway. Oh, there's my heat press. This was a test run anyway. This wasn't meant to be like, oh my God, this is the ultimate designer bag right now and you should get it. This is like showing you what is possible to do. And if you can do better, by all means, do better. You got my blessing anyways, as if you needed to do better than what I did, because it is a project that's not for the faint hearted, but you can do it. All of us can do it. Boom. Oh, that weeded so pretty, except for right here on this end. Okay, so here is, I got a couple of stones right here that's not cooperating. Oh, there's my template. Let me grab my template. We're gonna do a little bit of blinging, just a little bit, to get this on. Let me take these off. But yeah, no, this wasn't meant to be a project saying this is how it is definitely the way to go, because everybody designs differently, everybody blings differently, the whole nine. Let's see. Here we go. And you know what? I could be spunky. I might have to be spunky, y'all. Hold on. Hold your horses. I might have to do on the fly. Let's see. Let's do on the fly. We gonna do on the fly. Let me show you how doing on the fly works. Okay. We're gonna be a little different, just a little bit different. Yes. Okay. I don't know where that inspiration came from, but I'm glad it came. So let's get this off. Let's get this off. Let's get this off. Okay. Who knows what I'm about to do? Who knows? Who read my mind through the interwebs? ¿Qué hora? 10:17. Okay, we good. We good. We good. Yeah, I think the zipper foot would have been a better result. I think a zipper foot would have come through for a heifer. So we kind of making our own like random animal print type situation. I did some of the stones. I brushed in a few of the red, and now I'm doing the black. Just laying the black over the top of the stones and brushing it in where the blank spaces are. Now, granted, this will not be matching straps because you can't duplicate this. Uh, unless the good Lord sends some helpers down here to make these stones fall into place exactly the same when I do this again. But for the time being, we're gonna take it as it is and just have some fun. So I'm gonna try and get as many of these in black as possible. But what that will do is give us some of the black, that's on the front of the bag, so that the handle will have some unison, be in unison somewhat with the front of the bag. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. But I'm trying to think, where did I get these bags? Oh no, I didn't get them from my regular distributor. Otherwise, I could tell you exactly where I got them from, but I can't because I don't have the information in front of me. Because I actually ordered these from AliExpress. So, and you got to get them like way in advance and in bulk. They're crazy. All right, so but I do have Tote Bag Factory. I buy totes from them frequently when I want to do multiple totes because they have a ton of different totes. And then my local supplier, Carolina Made, has totes as well. I use QT's totes from them frequently. So if you look up QT's, I think you have to go through a distributor. Pretty sure you got to go through a distributor for QT's. But Tote Bag Factory is a good. Oh, and I think Jiffy Shirts has totes now. I think I saw that. Okay. Holler. Okay. So let's get a strip of strap for. Oh, Visionary Creations, you're welcome, my dear. You're welcome. A lot of folks was out of flock, and so when I to be quite honest, I didn't know it was coming Friday. They surprised the heifer. So hey Kevin. So when it did what Patrice said, I didn't see what she said. Hold on. When it came, I was just excited because I know it was a lot of folks that was out. A lot. Download the basic edition and put the code. Okay. Thank you, Patrice, for letting her know. Oh no, did I bump this? Okay. Boom. Okay. But you're welcome, Visionary Creations, because I knew quite a few folks was out, so that's why we worked. The Mister and I worked a little overtime and went on and got those Friday night, Saturday morning orders out for flop, because I don't want anybody to be without it if I can at all help it. You know, it's just trying to be a decent human out here. Trying, anyways. All right, let's see. Oh no. Okay, so this is. Look, I measured it. It's 1 inch, but look, it's a little wide. It's gonna be end to end. So it's a good thing I made it smaller. You see that? Can you see how that's end to end right there? Hang on. I need to straighten this out because it's going crooked. Hang on. Let me press this one. I'll press this one that's over here on the heat press. Some of the Bling straps. It does this deserve fancy handles. All the best marketing LLC. Hey, hon, how are you? Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for coming in, my friend. All right. So I got this one a little bit straight with the heat. So just to save some time, I'm going to go ahead and lay this on this strap over here, and then you'll be able to see once I take it off what I mean. It's like to the edge of this here strap, okay? And because it's not long enough, see that? Whoops, you can't see that very well. See how much longer it is? Because my canvas is 12 inches and I did 11 and the strap is 16. So I'm missing some space. But as I said earlier, this is just, you know, playing around with this design, making just a cute little something that would be just for me, so I could care less. But to show you how this could work out, let me move it down. And so see, I made it smaller than 1 inch. And look at how that turned out. Oh man, I like that. So see how you got some blends in with everything. So your strap will actually go with your bag. And I may shorten it just to save myself the stress and aggravation of trying to bling it 2 and 3 times, which I ain't trying to do right now because I'm gonna run out of time if I do. Who mixes water and vinegar? Is that for getting rid of the marks? If so, yes. I use water and more water than vinegar. So like 1 part to 20 parts is not a lot of vinegar at all because you don't want your stuff to smell. Even though the smell doesn't stay. The vinegar odor does not stay in your stuff unless you soak it in the vinegar mixture. But I don't know. Maybe I didn't read back in the chat because I'm looking down. Blinging. All right. The choo-choo train is gone. Making all that racket in the background. They're right down the road from the train track. So if you ever ride the train through Charlotte, you're gonna drive right past my house to get to Charlotte from. It's Amtrak. That ain't the Amtrak train though. The Amtrak train is not that loud. So Amtrak got a little teeny whistle. The freight train has got the big whistle. All right, gotta hand play some stuff. Trying not to throw stones all over Kingdom Come. So it's. And I'm running out of stones. It blings better when you have more stones. And I was trying not to have a whole bunch of mixed stones. So I was trying to pour just enough. But that's what happens when you scrimp. All right, so there we go. Boom. All right. Let's put a stone here. Let's put a stone here. Put one here. Put one here. Put one there. Put one over here. And if you do go grab this design, I would love to see what bag you make with it. Um, if you choose to do so, or you could take the design and instead of doing like if you don't want a boxy bag, you could not do that bottom tab area and just do a square bag. That would work too. Um, I'd love to see what you do with it personally. So holler when you do. This is a small bag though. This is a small tote bag. It's not a big one. So look at what I just did. I made a mess. So if you choose to, if you don't like a big tote bag, this is perfect. This is like a little something to carry a few little things in and make you a little tote type situation. Okay. Let me heat this up first. Make it lay straight. The strap that is. I'm gonna heat it up. And then I'm gonna cut these straps down. I'm gonna make it even more compact of a tote than what it is. So there we go. Much better, more cooperative. What is my husband back there doing, y'all? He is fighting the game. Okay. Whoops. Come on. Oh, one of my stones jumped out the way because it was because it's hot already. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's finish this up and get this project wrapped up. Yes, it is definitely clutch size. Definitely clutch size purse. Party bag. Well, I mean, it's enough rhinestones on it for it to be a party bag, so I can't argue that at all. Because when I tell you Patrice came into the Bling Fest with that cute little blinged out clutch, and I was like, bro, that is super cute. I messed up some of my stones, but it'll be all right. Okay, so here is the second strap. Okay, and some of the stones are hanging off the edge, but it'll be all right. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this down because, like I said, it's a small tote anyway, so we can totally make it, smaller instead of longer, So I'm going to chop this off. I'm gonna match it and chop this one off. I'm mad. I got stones hanging off the edge, y'all. That's like stones on there hanging on the edge, like help me. My bad, y'all. My bad. I can't help you right now. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to put this, and I'm going to line up the edge of the stones with the edge of the stones at the top of the bag. So this kind of like works out better than what I was doing anyway. So let's get some pins and pin this. Actually, I'm going to pin it sideways. For now. And then let's do this one. Now, normally, if you're doing this purse and you want it to be spot on, absolute perfection, you would measure where you're placing your straps and put the straps the same distance apart and the same distance from the edge of the bag. Am I doing that right now? Nope. Why? Because this is just a quick project to show you how you can take this bling to the next level. So I'm going to take this off to give me more sewing room to go around the edge of this bag. Not a singing gig. Keisha, don't tell me you be singing, girl. Don't tell me that. I can't sing, but I do be singing. I'm just saying. And they're hitting all the horrible vocals. All of them. I don't care. Okay. So let's get this strap put in. So that, and all I'm doing is a quick, ooh, I almost messed up. All I'm doing is a quick base of putting this in. I'm not doing anything fancy because I want this to hold in place while I'm stitching the lining in the bag. And I can't leave the pin, because if I leave the pin, then I can't take the pin out. So I'm just going to base this right on in at the top. And I'm sewing kind of close to the top of the bag with this strap. Okay, so see, that's all I'm doing is just tacking the strap in place. Nothing fancy yet. Anyways. Okay. And to be super duper cute, you would want to match where, see how that strap is there, this strap, you want your straps to line up. If you are doing this super fancy, again, I honestly don't care, but might as well, since I'm right here and I can see it, do it correctly for the time being. All right, and so here's the other strap. I'm matching that one. And I'm going to clip this in place. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to clip it. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this on the machine, holding it in place. And I'm going to stitch right here. Okay. Just that quick. And now I'm going to go to the other strap. Oh, and the buy-in, you have one more week for the buy-in. The buy-in is open right now. So that you can get your stones wholesale. All of the latest, newest stones are listed there. So you're more than welcome to go check that out. If you have any questions, just holler at a heifer. Shoot me an email or something, or catch me on the Facebook. Okay, so here is my straps. Whoops, there's strap there, all blingy and matchy. Strap there, all blingy and matchy. So now what I need to do is I'm going to take my bag and I'm going to turn this inside out, if I'm remembering correctly. This is the part where I can't never remember if I'm doing it right or not, but we're going to go with it. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to put my straps to the inside of the bag for right now. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this inside the bag, right sides together. So I'm going to shove this inside this bag and I'm going to line up my seams. So here is the edge of the bag. See the seam going down? And here's the edge of this bag. So it's a lot of red. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm shoving right side of the lining. This is the inside of the lining. This is the inside, of the bag. And of course, the rhinestones is the outside of the bag, right? So I'm putting right sides together and sliding this down in this bag. And what I'm going to do is line up my side seams. Okay. And I remember I told you I like to open my seams, but you can do them however you choose to do. Is your bag. So if you prefer to stitch with your seams to the side, that's not an issue as far as I'm concerned, because it's going to be your bag. It ain't going to be mine. And then I'm lining up, I'm going to line up the top of this bag. So I want my edge of my fabric to be as close as possible. Okay. So tucking this bag down in as much as possible or pulling it out to get the edge, the top edge as even as possible. And I'm clipping all the way around. Okay. I'm gonna push this down in some more so I can get these sides together. And I want my seams to be lined up too. Now, if you stitched with the, now see, I didn't. Again, this is just a quick project or whatever. So my side seams are going to be a little wonky because I did not use the exact same measurements all the way around when I was doing this. So again, this is just simply a quick project to show how you would do a bag, a tote bag. Generally, I don't even have the pattern to give you. So there's that. How can it be perfect for you when I don't even have the pattern? This is going off of a rhinestone pattern, but I didn't even give you fabric measurements or anything like that. All I did was go based off of the rhinestone pattern to make this what I wanted it to be. So I'm going to be doing some finagling here in a moment, but that's neither here nor there for me. That's here nor there for me. Okay, so we'll start right here, and I'm just going to sew all the way around the whole top. Okay, I don't need to leave an opening because I have an opening in the I have an opening in the lining, so I don't need to leave an opening. So I'm stitching all the way around the outside of this here bag, and like I said, it's probably not going to line up my seams, but I ain't worried about that. Okay, so take this clip off, and I'm going to stitch. Take this clip off. I'm going around the top edge of this bag, and I could have gotten down lower to where the rhinestones are, but for now I'm trying to secure the bag. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So right now all I'm doing is trying to get this bag stitch closed. And again, once I do the actual bag with all my measurements right and blah 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 blah, then I will work on making sure that my rhinestones are lined up like they're supposed to be and all that jazz. All right. Now, if I want to, let's see if we can't get closer. And then I can trim it. All right. So I'm going to move this over and I'm going to stitch. Feel those stones right there. There's the stones on the strap. It's going to be kind of harder to feel the stones through the side seam, so be careful there if you're doing this project. Side seams is going to get you. Okay. Okay. Right up against that. Is this we already around? Okay. We already made it around. Holler. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Don't hold it, girl. Don't hold it. Okay. And I'm just going to trim some of this because otherwise it's going to be a lot of bulk in the inside of the top of this bag. I'm trimming the first stitch. I did all the way around. Okay. And that's where these sharp scissors do come in handy. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So here is my bag. And you're like, I don't see no bag. I know. That's because we got to turn it inside out. Remember, here's the hole in the lining. Wait a minute. Where's my hole in my lining? Did I do this wrong? Here's my hole in my lining. Ta-da! I fooled you, didn't I? Okay. So here's the hole, and I'm going to pull my bag through. I'm going to start with the straps because that's a lot of bulk. And then I'm going to start grabbing more. And so that's why it's good to reinforce backstitch pretty good right here, because otherwise it will tear. But that's not the end of the world either. So don't think, oh my God, I tore it. It's just, no, see, I just popped that. So there's no worries, because all I'm going to do is stitch straight across in the bottom anyway, because this is the lining of the bag. So if you are making professional level bags, like I know Miss Shawn with Go Savvy Designs, she be making them hot mama leather bags with fine Italian leather and all of the bells and whistles and the hardware and yada yada. Okay, yeah, no, her stuff, I'm sure she makes triple, quadruple sure that her stuff is on point, But for me, see, I done ripped it all the way open, y'all, the bottom. But you are pulling through a lot of rhinestones and a lot of bulk. So, all I'm going to do is stitch right across the bottom of this lining, because if you're going to be inside looking into the bottom of the lining of my bag, come out, oh, girl, that's cute, but your lining, you stitched it, you didn't hand ladder stitch, and I'm be like, oh, okay, well, when you make me one, then I expect it to not be like this. Okay? I'm just saying. But I made this for myself, so I could care less. Ta-da! All right, so here is the bag. Let's pull it out. Bloop. There's the one corner at the bottom. Here's the other corner at the bottom. Let's move this, because I keep thinking my camera is more situated that way, and it's not. It's this way. Let's pull this out the bottom. And there's the bottom corner there. There's the bottom corner there. Okay. The bottom of the bag. All right. Here's our handle. Here's our handle, and this is the lining. And we're going to tuck this lining down in here. Now, what I will say is this, though. This is something else I should have done. I should have remembered. Okay. So usually, well, actually, I'll do this later. I was going to say I need to stitch so I got to stitch the bottom of this lining, because if I don't, then when I put money or change or little things in this bag, it's going to go through the hole of that bag and then in the bottom of the lining, and then it'll be a part of the pocketbook. But we don't want that unless you're trying to hide paraphernalia or something like that. But that's your issue, not mine. So, what I generally would do to polish off this tote bag, other than stitching the lining, what I also would do is top stitch along the top edge of this bag. But because I went back and stitched super close to the rhinestones, it didn't give me anywhere to top stitch. I don't have anywhere to top stitch the top of this bag to hold the lining in place and to hold everything and make it super cute. And also, I would totally do the back side of this strap as well. I wouldn't just not have. I wouldn't just do the front. Okay, but here's the bag minus the hole in the bottom and the top stitching. It's super cute. Okay, look at that. Okay, and even with the stones being toned, you can see rhinestones. You can definitely see that sparkle. The sparkle is all over this bag. There's no denying that that sparkle is there. Okay. Very pretty bag. And in person, it's even more apparent than it is on the camera. The camera is kind of like messing with how it looks. And see, there's even stones on the bottom and stones on the side, none in the top. Now, if I wanted to be a daredevil, which I'm really thinking about doing it, because I trust my sewing machine and I'm paying attention to where my needle goes, I could totally stitch in between the top, the first two rows of stones. I could do it. I know I can, but I would not do that on camera right now because that's stress. Who needs stress right now? Not me. Okay. So it turned out really cute. With uni, I love the pattern. Um, the pattern is super cute because you can totally do, this is red. And like I said, I did light cyan and jet hematite. You know what? Let me go ahead and stitch this lining. I did light cyan and jet hematite. Rachel did a beautiful blue. What was that color, Rachel? Yours was blue and yellow, was it? No, Uni's was yellow, if I'm remembering correctly. She had yellow with hers. But yours was like a bluish, that beautiful bold blue was Rachel's. And I forget the other color that Uni did. So if you want to see what colors they chose, go check out that video. Like I said, the link is in the description. And like I mentioned earlier, see, all I did was stitch across the bottom of this lining. That's it. Like, I'm done. Across the bottom so that nothing can fall through that. And I'm going to stick it right back down in this dang bag because I ain't got to worry about anything falling through to the inside in between the lining and the bag. And I'm done as far as I'm concerned. I'm done. So, woo y'all, holler. Let me come to the front camera because this is it. I'm done with the sewing machine, done with the heat press, done with the stones. Blue jean. Well, I know her. I know it won't, Chris Smith. I'm very well aware of that. But you know how us daredevil folks is. We'll try some of anything just to see um whether or not I can, or I could hand tack as well. I could hand tack around the handle to help keep the lining down in the bag. But at any rate, let's go to the front camera. Let me make sure I got my trackball over here, and I do. Turn the lights. You know him all too well. I'm surprised he didn't say that already. All right, let's see. Let me cut the other camera on over here. Oh, camera. Boop. There we go. Hey y'all. How y'all doing? That's Patrice. She'd be like, hey y'all. We're like, hey Patrice. Okay. I was trying to get this down in a little bit more, but look at that. Somebody come and look at this. Look at that. Look at it. You see what I'm saying? How can you? So look. Okay, in the light, here's the bag. You can totally see these stones. You can totally see them. They're there. There's no denying that these stones are right here in your face. Just like boom, pow, bang. Okay. No denying these stones are on this bag. Yeah, I can press it out. I can press it down. That's true. Look at how cute it is. Now I want to do the other side of the straps. Ugh. Now I want to do the other side of the straps because I want the straps, both sides, to be blingy. But for now, you can totally see them stones. Look at that. Look at, look at that. have a short showing how to put the template together on fabric. Okay, thank you. This is a party bag. So, fun story. Years and years and years and years and years ago, I used to work for Honda Financial Services. And while I was there used to be a manager there. She was over the office, the HR lady, whatever she was. And she would police what everybody wore. I mean, like, no short skirts, no tight pants, no this, no that. And I mean, she ruled with an iron thumb. Like, it was nothing got past her. So one day, I had went to, it wasn't Target. It might have been Target because I love Target, and I was shopping Target. I feel like I'm too old for it now, but I was in one of them stores, and I found a cute top. I think I still have that top, but it's a tank top, and it had random sequins on it. So even back then, your girl loved the bling, right? Random sequins. It was a really cute top. It wasn't a whole ton of sequins. It was just like random here, there. I'm gonna have to find that shirt and take a picture so that y'all can see what I'm talking about, because I was cute. Okay, it was black and it had silver sequins all on it. For that shirt, she was like, you have to go change that shirt. Why? That's party wear. Party wear? I don't even party, ma'am. What are you talking? Party wear? Okay, fine. Whatever. So my husband had to bring me something to change my shirt. That's Karen. But anyway, that was her name. Her name was Karen. I can't remember her last name. It's probably a good thing because I don't need to be telling people's business. But anyway, how cute is it though? How cute is it? Tell me. How cute. And I like the jet hematite with the light cyan. I'm sorry. So this is light cyan and jet hematite. This isn't even icy and it's acting up. So the stones are always gorgeous. The stones are gorgeous. Whether they're icy or not, they are gorgeous. But the icy, you that's why part of the reason I didn't use icy, because I knew this was like a trial project and I wanted to see how it would turn out, how close I could get to the stones. Keep in mind I was not measuring. I did no exact measurements of anything except for cutting out the first set of notches. Then I just duplicated. I laid it on the rest of the fabric and duplicated those notches. So because I didn't have a set pattern and was doing things a set way, I mean, it's not going to be perfect. And I knew it wouldn't be, you know? So I just used the regular light cyan stones and the regular jet hematite stones. SS10. This is SS10, not SS6. This is SS10. SS6 might be a little bit easier to sew with, but you would be it would be easier to sew and break a needle probably with SS6 because they're so small. You wouldn't be able to fill them as easily, I think. That's my personal opinion. You can give it a shot if you want to. But it's definitely adorbs. It is definitely adorbs. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little project. I wasn't trying to um you know, get everybody out here making bags and stuff. But again, I do love the fact that if you just take the time to um look and see what's out there, you can come up with all kind of cool ideas to do with rhinestones and full coverage rhinestones. Now, some of the projects that we got coming up for next year, probably mid-January, I need all of y'all to be here. I need y'all to be here so that you can see it, because y'all gonna be like, "What in the world did Eve get us into?" And I'm be like, "My bad," but, however, you needed to be able to do this too. So I need y'all to see what we got up our sleeve for 2026, because I will not see you again until 2026. All right. No, you will see me again. No, that'll be 2026. Patrice, hold up. Yep. Friday is the 2nd. So I will see you guys next year. I will see you guys next year, and we will have us a grand old time This Friday on date night. I can't remember, what did we say we was going to do. I think we're sewing. Yeah, we're sewing purses or something like that. And if you want to do purses with bling, we can. I don't, but we have a kit. We need to link that kit somewhere so that y'all can see the kit that we'll be using if that's what we end up doing. I don't know. So you know how things go. Sometimes the cards don't land right, the wind don't blow right, and we're like, you know what, this ain't the night for that, and we'll change. But if we do decide that that's the project we'll do, we'll try and figure a way to get it where you guys can see what we're doing. But this is super cute. So again, I linked the link in the description below for this pattern for this bag. Oh, thank you, Shay Shay, for this boy. I gotta find my bill. Crazy thing. Thank you, Shay Shay, for the membership. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes. And thank you for that, because that reminds me of Fern. Fern, congratulations on your new baby. Holler. A 3D printer. Yes. And hopefully you'll get to use it soon after you feel better. So you guys take care of yourselves. There's a nasty flu going around right now. I'm trying my best not to fool with anybody in face-to-face situations. So meanwhile, you know, I'll be around. But please be careful, drink plenty of fluids, because one thing is for certain, that'll help you stay hydrated and healthy. Your body can fight better when it has hydration. So stay hydrated, get you some good old OJ, and get that vitamin C in there to fight off some of that stuff. But otherwise, thank you. Thank you for coming. Up Design's been a member for 33 months. Holla. Yes, honey. Yes. Thank you, Keisha E. It did turn out really pretty. So go grab the design. Like I said, this is a Best Uni design. She has it on Etsy, but the link is in the description. I don't have a pattern. All I did was follow the shape of the rhinestone design. You saw that. That's all I did. If I can find a tote bag design, or either design something that works really well with it, I'll have to get up with Rachel and see what they came up with size wise. Then we'll try and post that in the description after the fact. But meanwhile, this is what I did just off the cuff. It wasn't meant to be perfect. It was meant to just show you the possibilities of what you can do. And I can't stress that enough. So thank you so much for being here. The bag is super cute. I absolutely love it. It's adorbs. It's not purple, but it's red. And a girl look good in red. I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all. Holler. Y'all, I might have to wear this with some of that red lingerie I got. Oh, wait a minute. Talking too much. Okay, so we'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a great night. Thank you so very much. And I look forward to seeing you all Friday. Friday on Craftable Things channel. It's Date Night with Patrice. We're going to be sewing. Hopefully, Marilyn will be there too, because it's always fun with all the homies. With the homies. And we'll be stitching up something. We'll figure out what we're going to stitch. And then we'll see you again next Sunday here on the channel. But of course, this week there's a lineup of folks. Okay, so Monday, sometimes it's Angel B. Sometimes you'll find Yolanda's live, and she's also live in her Facebook group. Tuesday is Patrice sometimes, most of the time. And then Wednesday is Romeo Wednesday or Other Machine Wednesday, and that's over on Yolanda's channel. Thursday is Megan with Marilyn, and then Friday is Patrice. And this Friday is going to be date night. So looking forward to seeing you guys over there. So until we see you guys the next time, we hope you have happy blinging. So behave. I love you guys, and we'll holler at you later. Bye.